On February the 2nd, 2011, my mother died. On February the 2nd, 2011, I turned Scott Shellenberger into the Department of Justice. I turned him into the Baltimore City Police Department, the city solicitor, and the Baltimore City Council, and the mayor for corruption and racism behind the war on drugs. Governor O'Malley's Stop and Frisk and Zero Tolerance. It's making a movie and a documentary about the politics in Maryland behind the war on drugs. I'm a caterer. I'm a private chef. I catered in 85% of the richest people's houses in the state. Senators, congressmen, representatives. I know Governor O'Malley. I know Governor Hogan. I know Governor Ehrlich. I know all the governors since Schaefer. I even know Glendenning. All right. In 1986, I turned in guns and drugs to end the war on drugs. Scott Shellenberger used that 86 case to get an indictment in 2011. By him using that case, that means he opened up Pandora's box. I've been trying to end the war on drugs since 1986. All right, I'm an ex-felon, a convict, N62528, the state of Illinois versus Dwayne Davis. I was making a movie about the war on drugs. All right. Y'all send police in my house and y'all put guns to my head. Y'all threaten my life on more than one occasion. I want all the body camera footage with my name on it, or I was involved in it. I want all of my police encounters since 2006. Because I'm going to show you how you use your police department to be slave catchers. I mailed this to myself. All right? I mailed it to myself to ensure I got this. You feel me? We're going to show you how laws are made. All right? Mosby got to toss cases. Well, Mosby got to toss cases. Mosby tossing cases because she got to toss them cases. Them cops was dirty. We're going to start filing lawsuits. Matter of fact, we're going to start filing class action lawsuits. We're going to come after your money. Scott Shellenberger had me locked up because I was filing a $54 million lawsuit about your prison industry. I named your judges, your lawyers, and politicians that get paid behind mass incarceration in your war on drugs. That's Marilyn Mosby. She got this. I gave this information to Marilyn Mosby in 2014 at the NAACP candidacy forum. Everything I'm telling you, you can go directly to Mr. Harding today and get this right now at this very moment. It's making a movie. That's Alton Logan. If you Google Alton Logan, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's about locking black people up for crimes that they don't commit. That's my lawyer, Mr. Bailey. All right? That's my lawyer. I videotaped the phone calls. All right? We talking about Mayor Pugh. We talking about Trump. We talking about the war on drugs. And I'm going to pull your card. And it's not going to be your green card. It's going to be a green card, but I'm not an immigrant. That's Greg Bernstein. He got this. But we're going to go through my paperwork first. Because we talking about the prison industry. All right? We're talking about the prison industry and the money y'all make in Baltimore City and Baltimore County. We're talking about racism in your police department. Like I said, that's internal affairs. That's Dwayne Davis. That's the number. Internal affairs destroyed evidence, and internal affairs destroyed my complaint. Y'all came in my house and put guns to my head, threatened me about Governor O'Malley. And I want that paperwork. It's about your prison industry. And y'all got an embargo on China. Well, China makes the shoes for the prison industry. You go to Donnie Moses, all right? He had this too, because he told me what to do. So I'm going to do it to you. This is the Department of Justice, all right? It says right there, Department of Justice, to investigate my case. That means you got to go Baltimore City Council, the mayor of Baltimore, the Baltimore City delegation, Police Commissioner Harrison, and Attorney Marilyn Mosby. Y'all got to return all that information and show them what we got. And y'all got to go to Gayle King, too. Gayle King got this. Like I said, this is a breakdown of your prison industry and how you use your courts and your politicians and police to incarcerate Black America. I signed my release, consent to be videotaped. You feel me? Consent to be videotaped. We talking about WJZ. We talking about the media. Kai Jackson know me. You feel me? Kai Jackson, tell him about the videotape on Haywood Avenue. That hot summer when you work for WJZ. You work for Fox 45 now. Y'all recycle y'all media too. You feel me? Talk about Vic Carter. We're going to talk about Mary. We're going to talk about all y'all. We're going to talk about CBS now. And you go to CBS today. Get everything I gave Gayle King. Because it breaks down your prison industry. See, racism don't work without Black cooperation. And Gayle King is Black. And she done had this for a while. You feel me? She had this for a while. And she ain't opened her mouth about this. WJZ has had this for a while. You feel me? And they ain't going to say nothing about it because they participated. You seen the movie The 13th Amendment? I'm going to break that down to you. That's WJZ, Adam May. That's the Maryland. No, I'm sorry. This is Judge Bridges. I was going to Washington, D.C. to talk about the war on drugs. I went to Washington, D.C., and I had to ask permission to go to Washington, D.C. Mr. Bailey, my lawyer. Yeah, we're going to play them tapes. It's like Watergate. These tapes is going to be your Watergate for your courts. That's Adam May. That's the follow-up to this letter. All right? Adam May ain't here no more. I put that camera in Adam May's face so much he left town. Put it in his kid's face, his face. I don't care. Whoever has something to do with my illegal incarceration, that's how I'm going to treat you. That's the comptroller. Because I asked for an audit. We're going after your money in the courts. That's Chief Justice Roberts of the Supreme Court. He told me to file a writ of certiorari. And I'm going to file a writ of certiorari. We're going to file a writ of certiorari on about 3 or 4 cases. And we're going to show you the money behind the prison industry. And Peter Francott got to give me an audit. He gave me this. Joseph Kane was there when he gave it to me. Like I said, we're going to talk about your prison industry. That's David Irwin. All right, 2007, because I told y'all I was making a documentary about this case, 86 CF 293. That's the 86 case about the war on drugs. That's the NAACP. All right. And that's Lieutenant Governor Brown, because like I said, it's from the Department of Justice. I asked the Department of Justice to investigate the O'Malley Mine Machine. I asked the Department of Justice, but the Department of Justice is shielding the corruption. Like I said, I got my paperwork in order. I asked for an audit, a federal and a state audit. Been asking for an audit. You feel me? Attorney General been shielding it. That's Doug Gansler. And y'all seen me with Doug Gansler. I videotaped him. That's Paul Ballard. And it says go to the Department of Justice, Criminal Division, Criminal Section. So we're going to level up. I'm going to pull your cards. Because like I said, this is about your prison industry here in Baltimore City and Baltimore County. All right? Mr. O'Neill. Your Herculean, all right, letter from President Obama. You feel me? Chinese Embassy. Richard McFeely of the FBI. Baltimore office. Washington, D.C. This is a release form. And this is from 2009. Long before you locked me up in 2011. It was about filming a documentary about your prison industry. You feel me? False imprisonment for filming a documentary. Same phone number. You kidnapped me from my residency and you took my property. It was about this. Task Force studying Maryland's criminal gang statutes. I came from Illinois about this. So I went to this meeting the other day. All right. And you seen the movie The 13th Amendment. Michael Hough, Senator Hough was in it. All right, and we talked about that when we was there. I videotaped it. I videotaped this meeting, and we talked about what makes it a game. So like I said, I'm getting ready to break y'all down. I work for Out for Justice. I'm a member of Out for Justice. And we're going to talk about the corruption and the racism in Scott Shellenberger's office. We're going to talk about the criminal charges that Scott Shellenberger has against him. And I'm going to send this copy to Lester Holt and John Legend. I'm sending it to Lester Holt because Gayle King ain't doing her job. Racism don't work without black cooperation. And if Gayle King had this for so long, Gayle King has no intentions of publishing this. This is your Watergate. This is how you write laws to incarcerate. You feel me? These are the laws you write to incarcerate. Now I'm going to pull your card because Greg Bernstein got this. You see that? And I filmed Greg Bernstein on 2 or 3 occasions. Like I said, I'm making a movie. And I got you on film. I got Governor Hogan on film. I ain't got Judge Cox on film, but if you go to Judge Cox today, get my paperwork. It's a writ of certiorari. The same way that Judge Roberts asked, Judge Cox has it. Scott Shellenberger. Go get all my paperwork from Scott Shellenberger. Because it's corruption in your court, and it's all about Scott Shellenberger. I put the evidence in his hand, and he can't destroy it. He got to produce everything I gave him. That's the Department of Justice, Mr. Hardin. They signed for this. You feel me? They signed for this last year. So don't destroy this evidence that I gave you. Make sure that you give it to Gayle King. Make sure that you give it to Lester Holt. Make sure that you give it to President Trump. President Trump, I asked about the corruption in Baltimore. It's in the Department of Justice hands. Multi-millions of dollars. I'm a whistleblower. That's Chief Hyatt. Chief Hyatt got the criminal complaint against Scott Shellenberger. Chief Hyatt got this. They signed for this. You feel me? Dutch Village. That's where I'm at. That's Johnny Oleski. He signed for it. You see it? They signed for it. They tore that shit off because they didn't want to see it. But they signed for it on the same day, September the 6th. You got this. All about the war on drugs and Scott Shellenberger. Y'all locked me up, charged me with terrorism to hide the corruption and the racism in your courts. I got it all on film. I got what I need. And you got it in your office. Governor O'Malley, this is what it was all about. Governor O'Malley and the mom machine. Governor O'Malley signed for it in 2000 what? Yeah, 13 is my lucky number. Jury commissioner, because I asked to go in front of the grand jury in Baltimore County and y'all wouldn't let me. Eric Holder. You feel me? Ronald Davis. 2015. This how long y'all been shielding this. That's President Obama, whistleblowers application. They signed for this. President Obama signed for this. Chief Judge Turnbull signed for this. So whistleblower on the courts and the corruption in the courts. You can't shield the corruption under Scott Shellenberger's administration. You're going to have to reverse and remand a lot of cases because of Scott Shellenberger. Judge Turnbull. Chief of Police Johnson. Because y'all was running a criminal enterprise. You was running a gang. You made millions and millions of dollars off of black people in Baltimore County. President Obama asked for an investigation. He signed for it. It's right there. You feel me? Eric Holder, 2014. Mayor Pugh, 2018. If she can go to jail, and y'all just got her with the Holly Book scandal, you're going to have to go after Shellenberger the same way that you went after Mayor Pugh. The same way that you went after Mayor Pugh, you're going to have to go after Shellenberger. You're going to have to give him the same criminal investigation that you gave Pugh. You're going to have to give Shellenberger. You're going to have to give Shellenberger because he got it. He got all this evidence. Shellenberger and the war on drugs. That's what that toilet was in Towson about. The war on drugs and Scott Shellenberger. And I gave it to you. I was insured when I did this for $1 million. And y'all don't want to pay off my policy. I'm going to show you the fraud in the court and the fraud in the insurance company. I'm going to show you the money that y'all invest in this. The way that y'all shielding it. That's Michael Nearham in Lake County, Illinois. They signed for this. You feel me? They destroyed evidence. They participated in this fraud. City, county, state, and federal levels. Tale of two cities. That's Governor Hogan. Because like I said, a movie about Governor Hogan. Governor Hogan had me put out of the Capitol building when they were signing the policemen's guns for John Hopkins. Governor Hogan been knowing about this since 2014. Governor Hogan and them been knowing about it when we had the debate at Severn, Maryland, at the Knights of Columbus. Y'all had me put out the race and taken off the ballot. Then y'all tried to get me charged with fraud. No, I want an audit. I don't want a federal and a state audit. And we're going to follow Governor Hogan's money. Governor Hogan, the movie's about you, bro. It's about your prison industry and the money you're doing with this gun task force, this new gang thing. You found $21 million? Well, we're going to audit that $21 million. We're going to audit that $54 million lawsuit. We're going to audit your contributors. We're going to audit Bart Mitchell. We're going to audit the Republican Party. You feel me? We're going to audit you. We're going to make sure that these tapes is played. You feel me? And don't say that you didn't get this information because I gave it to you. I gave it to you. You signed. That's not my signature. And if you go to Governor Hogan today, I gave Governor Hogan's representative this information. I gave Governor Hogan's this information. The same. I gave it to Governor Hogan's that represented this gang task force. This gang task force ain't nothing but racism reinvented. This gang task force is slavery reinvented. If you got this gang task force and he's on it, you're going to have to dismember it because Shellenberger's going to jail. You can't use your office to slave catch and catch black people and lock black people up. Martin Luther King wouldn't let that happen. Y'all locked me up because I applied for his job. We're going to tell the truth and shame the devil. Because this is going to President Trump. Matter of fact, he got it already. You feel me? Miss Leon. All right? The ACLU. 130 inmates. You feel me? We got inmates that's locked up that need help. You feel me? In Baltimore City and Baltimore County. Was making a documentary about your inmates in the ACLU. That's the ACLU. That's the ACLU. Over 135 inmates denied due process and equal protection. NAACP got this. The ACLU got this. President Obama asked for an investigation. Where's the ACLU? Where's the NAACP? Because y'all permitting this to go on. I asked for his job because it's been vacant far too long.